first place for the LLDS, and then in Swiss basically he went undefeated, right?
Yes.
Undefeated.
In the
Yeah, I had one draw, man. And it
We're
wasn't
still not undefeated. All right, so what did you do today?
So, g'day guys, I went undefeated in Swiss with Altergeist, and you know, it was very improbable, but somehow
How do you deal with the people that give this deck a hard time?
Talk smack, 2-0 them,
What's the most common things you've heard people say about the deck?
I'm trash, deck's trash, deck does nothing, you're slow playing, nice order.
trap deck, no skill.
Yeah.
Set 5 paths?
Haters gonna hate.
Oh my god, okay, here we go.
Anyway, so best card in the deck comes up quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's amazing at 1, it sucks when you desire it. I literally cry at night just because this card has to be at 1 in the deck. Not hard ons per turn, so lets you keep a board. 2 Sequatus, standard. You don't want to see 3, but desires is crap. 3, 3, 3, they're the best cards played at 3. For traps.
Yeah.
3, because says no to everything, says no to hand traps, and a lot of the time you want to see it to break through boards. And setting 2 is alright if you break.
Did you check out Bowden's build where he only played one manifestation?
No way, really?
He only played 1 manifestation.
He must have lost it. So yeah, now 2 manifestation, desires is pretty bad, but one thing I noticed is that a lot of people would mind crush or strike the faker in hand. End phase, you can just reborn it back. It's not super bricky, because even if you do normal summon a Altergeist monster and set that, end phase summon it back, get rid of the back row for Sulquatus or make a board. 3 spoofing, best card. For spells, it's a little bit weird. 1 duality, it's still a really good card, but it stops you from special summoning, so like normal summon Sulquatus isn't... Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so normal summon Sulquatus is still one of your strongest moves. It forces Ash. It's a bit like ashing at the first engage. It's really incorrect just because it searches the entire deck, and odds are they're going to add it back. Same with this card. It fixes a lot of hands, and you sort of have to do it. Double desires. I tried with 1 and with 0. Both times it felt really bad. I didn't see faker enough, but the horrible part about this card is that although it will work 80% of the time, by the time you get to round 6 or round 5, you're eventually going to have a really crappy desire, and you're going to have to bluff the opponent and hopefully make them scoop before they realize you've run out of resources. If you get unlucky and don't search of a Sulquatus when you negate something...
It's Melissae.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, they're going to notice, but you got to...
This is why I won, man.
Yeah, edit that one out.
This is why I won.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, don't show them that you're really bleeding. 1 for 1. A lot of times when you open 1 for 1 desires, you 1 for 1 they'll ash. Desires will usually fix your hand. Also, a lot of the times when you're going second, you can normal summon Seek, and then 1 for 1 the second one, and just start plowing through back row. Triple Mind Crush, opening 2 is usually game, just because you have knowledge of 1 card, you'll hit it, and then you'll hit the best card in their hand. Also, you're playing around a lot of hand traps. The other thing which is really important about this deck is Faker is...
Wait. Is this all your spells?
4 spells. No other deck usually plays more than 4.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
One thing that's really important in the deck, which a lot of players don't really understand, is that Faker is essentially a scapegoat. You drop it in the end phase, you summon Seek or Sulquatus depending on how many traps you have, and you can usually use combo off and make a big board. It doesn't matter how much damage you take. With Mind Crush, as long as you can resolve it, you can see whether or not they have the hand trap, the Ash, the Ogre, and it plays around Vela in end phase with Faker in end phase. 1 auto win, I saw it
every single game.
Not every single game. when it mattered.
Game?
I saw it in a couple of Altergeist mirrors. It was...
There was a game when you were playing against Josh, and you and Dumb had at the same time face up. I was like, what the fuck is that?
No, it's crippling. It is a little bit sad that when you are known playing this deck, a lot of people do overside, and it can either pay off or really backfire. Triple Rivalry breaks boards, slows down a lot of decks. If they activate drones and you flip Rivalry, usually you just go straight to game 2.
Yeah.
It's really impactful. 2 Torrential, it's an odd choice, but I sort of guessed that there wouldn't be too many Sky Striker, and this works quite a lot better against Goki. Idea is that they're not... Sorry, I said Sky Striker, I meant Trickstar. Against Trickstar, this card is horrible because even if you have 3 or 4 back row, they're gonna touch it with the field spell, and it's never gonna resolve.
Yeah.
But in the mirrors, the Altergeist mirrors is amazing. Against Goki, you can drop it really late, and they're gonna cry a little bit. But yeah, no, just 2 because it's right. Same with Mech Knights. Don't mind the bed. I have an odd technique with hand traps. I just play 2 and 2 because I only own 2 Ash, but
you should have gone with the mathematically correct.
Edit that part out. Mathematically, 2 is correct when you're playing against Goki and you want to see 2, except when you have impermanence, which is not a hard once per turn. I decided to play 3 just because I saw what decks were being played at the beginning of the tournament, and
you went scouting.
I guess shotgun 3. Is that my entire deck?
That should be.
Any more cards?
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it for me.
It's 40 flat, right?
Yes.
You don't mean that?
No, I took that out. I'll explain that. Give me that.
No. Give me extra deck first.
This is
extra deck 6 cards.
Oh, right. Don't worry. Alright, so one thing which is a little bit controversial about the extra deck is running 3 Hextia. Most games I end up powering through 3. What usually comes up is making the first one and linking it away, summoning the second one and getting a search. Odds are, if you get struck on the first one and you're only playing 2, you're going to be struggling for the rest of the game. And late game, this comes in really handy, just to keep on linking.
Tell us what happened to Josh.
What happened to Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, you summoned 3?
Oh, okay. So
that was
the scenario was we're getting close to time. I had Imperial Order, but he had Rocky Boy, so I didn't have any interruptions during his turn. So every turn, I summon Hexias and I search 2 manifestation, and then my board got wiped, and then in end phase, I summon back 2 to join the 3rd one, and then reveal Faker, and I gamed him in 2 turns just for that. Cherries in the mirror in case you get Kidolga in the mirror in case you get cherried for some reason. For the sad reasons why it would ever happen. I don't think you should ever cherry that. But there are niche situations. What do you
do
where
about
this comes out.
Hexio if you get cherried?
Just play normal Altergeist. All the monster cards have an impact.
Yeah, but like...
It's only spell trapping. It's good and all, but it doesn't get cherries anyway. Kidolga is crazy with this other effect. It never comes up. By the time it ever would, they've scooped it beforehand. 1 lightning package. I've only ever made it once in my life in this deck, and it won me the game just because the Goki player didn't have any extra deck because I carried the Borreload, and in time I just kept him poking with material and he couldn't get over it. 1 card, don't need to explain, it's really good. For cherries, 1 firewall. I never resolved cherries because called by the game.
The fucking toad!
Yeah.
Because of Leo.
Leo exists apparently. So
Leo
if you're playing a 4-card extra deck, you might as well. 1 Cerberus because if they give you Ibli, you need to have a link too. And it's alright. I've only ever summoned Top Logic once. It's reasonably game breaking when you have Top Logic and Manifestation, so you can have a board wipe, but it's just a link 4. Chairing 1 Electromite, chairing 1 Spiral. Kashik, I saw Bowden do it, and I don't know. He gave a good reason. I don't think it would ever come up, but it happened. Borrowload, I've never made it before, but it's pretty comforting that it exists.
Yeah. So, I think it depends on, I guess, playstyle as well, because some just play 2 Hexia, and I think it seems like the way you play, you burn through 3 quite consistently.
I dump them as much as possible to get the manifestations, just because
it's as if
it has a great effect.
It's as if you used the 2nd or the 1st as consistency to make room for the other 2. That's what it seems, right? Like you'll link it away, make 1, add whatever piece you're missing, depending on what you're...
It works well for spoofing as well, so yeah. I just do it anyway. For sides, on the day I decided to run triple impermanence just because there were a lot of Goki, so I started out the Judgment. I started it only for game 2 because time exists. 3 cherries because Goki, double ogre because Goki. 3 twisters, it was amazing, forcing people to go first with this deck and deciding in the twisters, because odds are they're going to not know about the matchup and set their twin twisters or other back row hate, and then you can just blow them out. It's also amazing in the mirror, and I would always play 3. For Mech Knights, I played double Lost Wind.
Of course, amazing.
Didn't really come up at all, but for Sky Striker and Mech Knight, it's really good, especially the combo between the 2 decks.
Yeah.
Plays well through twisters, and it usually outgrinds the Sky Striker.
Yeah.
For Sky Striker and what do you call it? Trickstar, which is a good card. Double Dark Bribe, a little bit of weird.
Okay. So there's 3 options you could have chosen, right? You could have chosen your owner.
I did originally play what's
Wiretap?
that other trap? Wiretap. I had a couple of bad experiences with wiretap. For example, one game I sided in double wiretap. I saw both of them, and my opponent didn't have any of the back row hey like evenly match or red reboot just because he forgot them. Anyway, it felt horrible, and he went through a lot of spells. Yeah. Dark Bribe, it's good through twisters, which happens quite a lot. Yeah. I only ever saw people twistering me, and the draw's partially irrelevant because just because you want to slow them down, just to have like literally infinite negates.
Yeah, because odds are whatever you're negating, you're keeping your board established.
It's game breaking.
So whatever it is they draw, it completely doesn't matter because you actually negated what was going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an interesting situation today with a trap called Royal Flush.
Freaking John! That was freaking John.
It was a bit spooky. It
was Full House.
It was Full House.
Full House.
Yeah.
No, I negated that. That was gonna make me lose.
That was freaking brutal of a result, man.
Yeah, no, that was the deck. Yeah.
What were your matchups?
Oh yes, I prepared for this after the
last those.
Alright, so first match was 2 Draco. I won in time because I could see the clock and my opponent could not. I ended up versing 2
double
Gokis.
red rebooted you.
Yeah, double red reboot towards time and had to demise in his turn for him metalfoes. Anyway, 2 Goki, couple of funky plays. Yeah, no, I ended up just winning them for some reason. Can't remember why. 1 True Star Sky Striker. I just outgrinded them through back row. 2 Altergeist mirrors, that was interesting. It was interesting enough that Altergeists were all in the top cut, at least in the 3 of yous. Yeah, there were 3 people in like the top 8 for rounds 5 and 6, and generally the better player will win the mirror, and I've been playing this deck for quite a while. I just like both my opponents A haven't played the deck for long, or B had never done a mirror before.
I bricked both games, let's be real.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, bricking is the thing. What else to do? Yeah, that was it. I ended up versing 2 Goki, 2 Altergeist, 1 Trickstar Sky, and 1 True Draco.
Damn. Well, I mean, good job, man. It was unfortunate. Well,
I do not recommend ever playing this deck in a big event.
Why is that?
Odds are you're gonna brick, and you're not gonna stop the Goki player. In Swiss, I couldn't stop the Goki player. I opened up double Ash despite all my mad calculations, and I couldn't stop the full combo. Just because all the extenders like Monster Reborn.
Mate, you gotta explain top cut as well.
What's that? What do you mean top
cut? Top 8.
Fucking top 8.
Oh, that's top cut. I can't remember what I'm at. Okay.
You played against
yeah, no, it was True Draco. I won with Imperial Order and Faker end phase in like game 2.
And then top 4?
In top 4, I versed Mech Knight.
Ryan, right?
Yeah, Ryan. Mech Knight Trickstar. No, sorry, Mech Knight Striker.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I opened Order one of the games.
Yeah.
And it was a bit tight. We had a DIY clock, which kind of made things a little bit awkward with time tracking. And I had 30 seconds to deal game, and the judge is watching. So yeah, judge is watching. So slow play wasn't really an option.
And you're on 200 life points.
Yeah, as well. I faked end phase with 200 life points, and it followed through. Oh yeah, I opened 7 monsters in a row against like 4 Mech Knight.
Yeah, that was insane, man. I was like,
I had to keep a very straight face. I had many hand traps theoretically.
And then in the finals, you played against Connor, the one that actually won.
Connor.
Oh, his face is in it now. What are you doing?
No, that's alright. I'll accept the face in it, just not the profile.
Just the top of his head.
Yeah. So basically,
there was one critical decision where I summoned. It was what I summoned off the Faker, and I chose the Seek because I knew Soak Charge wasn't really a play. But overall, like he used his normal summon, had like 3 cards in hand. And he ended up using like Living Fossil and Monster Reborn, and that just lost me the game. I didn't see both of them coming out. Like he'd used a lot of Goki names. Anyway, that was that. It's alright.
Damn, but today was a good day, man. Like, you've been on a roll with your Altergeist deck.
I've been topping quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite consistent. It's really good. But that's pretty much gonna be it, man. Good job. Good up, Connor. Both of you first and second in Swiss, and then second and first in Top Cut.
Also, Team Guns.
Team Guns.
Team Guns are fucking trash, mate.
Nathan, Steve.
Do you know how many of them top?
He's losers.
Only one of them. Only one Team Gun person tops.
Alright,
they
shut
made
up,
fun
Team
of me
Gun.
for playing this trash deck.
Freedom.
Poor Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, oh man.
Top 4.
No.
Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.
It was you.